name is... You know what? This isn't right. Hold on 1 second.
Hello, my name is Kelsey George, and this is my Genius Hour.
Whew, sorry. That took me quite a while to get back. Now, as you saw, I was on a baseball diamond, and that baseball diamond has been a huge part of my life. It has been almost like a second home to me, as I've been playing baseball since I could remember. Now, I can show you. This was my first t-shirt. Now, I was 5 years old when I wore this t-shirt, and I loved the thought of baseball. So, as you can see here, this is the t-shirt that I wore when I was 5 years old, being super attentive in this photo. Now, when I think of baseball, I think I have a lot of improving to do. Baseball has always been a sport in my family, like I said, but I'm not the greatest baseball player that I've ever seen. I'm not a Batista or a Willie Mays, Barry Bonds, or something like that. So, to me, this project in particular gave me the opportunity to improve my skills when I didn't think that I needed to do anything. So from this, I found that what better thing to work on than my batting skills. My Genius Hour for this topic is how to hit the perfect pitch. Now, I know I'm not going to be a bat-flipping Batista where I can hit a ball at 95 miles per hour. Just not my thing. But I'm going to try my hardest to go through my process with you guys of how I figured out to hit the perfect pitch. So as I said before, I've been playing baseball for a long time. My family has grown up playing baseball. I remember going at the age of 3 to a baseball game at 9:30 at night to watch my dad play. My dad has played all his life. My cousins and my uncle were tried out for the professional team because they were scouted. Baseball has been a huge impact in our lives overall. So, as you can believe, when I started baseball and started doing things differently, people already had an image in their head of, oh, that's a George girl. She knows what she's doing on the field. Well, in my case, wasn't the greatest baseball player to begin with. Now, when I started my research, I found that it was extremely interesting the way that baseball first started. So it was adapted from the British game of rounders, and by extension to cricket, and the game of baseball, or what they called town ball in that time, became pretty popular in Canada after that. So the first documented evidence that I found of baseball in Canada comes in 1886 from a Sports Life magazine, and it was about a game 48 years earlier, and many people just adapted to the game after that. So what I found is they had online an interactive way on how to teach children how to play. Of course, I was going to have to go back down to the basics of teaching children, and this showed me different strategies on how to influence kids to get excited about baseball. So, one thing that really stuck out for me was the fact of a batting stance. So getting in the form and stance right already is halfway to hitting the ball. When you're coaching someone or when you want to hit the ball, the first thing you should teach them is the batting stance. So when you are doing your batting stance, you want to make sure that your front foot is at the very front of the batter's box. Now, the batter's box is located in around the cage where the umpire is and the catcher is. So when you have your foot at the beginning of the batter's box, you want to make sure that your back foot is about shoulder width apart from your front. And when you are in your batting stance, you want to make sure that your knees are a little bit bent for when you do your hip rotation. After that, you want to make sure that your hands are right on top of each other. And you want to make sure that when you do that, it enhances the quickness and strength of your hands. As a way to practice this, you can always put your thumb kind of inside your second finger, or just make sure that your hands are connected from top to bottom. If your hands are apart, you're going to lose the strength of the actual hit in itself. So when you do your stride, you want to make sure that you lift your leg up or your knee up a little bit So when you hit the ball, you get more power into the actual hit. Now, the almost farther you stride, the more efficient the baseball is going to be. So with this, I found that the more endurance I had and the more motivation I had to actually stand there and be in position, the better it was. I also found that with the bat, you want to make sure that your back elbow is up. This allows for you to have that momentum for when you swing back and bring it forward. As an example, here is one of the ways that I actually did it. I went to a batting cage, so I thought maybe this would be an easy way to show people what to do. Notice here how I started off kind of with my elbow down, and as I gradually brought it up, the further I tended to hit it. Now, when I brought my elbow up way too high to overemphasize it, it ended up being a pop fly, which in some cases is not a good thing. So as you saw from that video, the higher my elbow went, didn't necessarily work, and it ended up having a pop fly, which not necessarily good all the time because most of the time people can catch the ball. You want to make sure that your elbow is completely locked in between here. As you're even with your shoulder, the better you're going to hit the ball. Now with this, I found that the more and more I went to the batting cages and the more I practiced, the easier it ended up being. The better I felt and the more confident I felt when I was going to my games during the week. So as a result from this, I decided that I was going to go to the diamond just with a couple people and actually test out my theory on how I should hit the ball. So as you saw from the video, I was extremely excited about actually hitting the ball. It was a line drive, it was perfect, like a perfect spot for me to hit it. I really enjoyed it, and I found that the more and more I've practiced, the better I've actually been for my baseball team. We ended up winning our championship game the next week, which was fantastic. I thought that was probably one of the best the best hitting that I've ever done in a game, which I loved even more. And I found that the more I've grown, the better I've become. Now I know I'm never going to be the Batista or the Willie Mays of the future. I figure that. But there are girls like me who do enjoy softball as well. We just came out with a new show on TV about this girl that starts the MLB. That kind of show motivates women across the world to do things that they love. Now, I've grown so much from this photo. I find that I'm more focused, attentive, and enjoy the game overall. Now, baseball has, like I said before, been in my life forever. It has taught me to work as a team, be attentive, be respectful. It has given me focus and has overall made me appreciate the opportunities that I've been given. Now, with this being said, I find that none of this would have happened if it wasn't for this Genius Hour. Genius Hour is an incredible program that allows students to open up their minds and explore their identities and explore things that they personally enjoy and want to improve in their lives. The more I found about baseball, the more excited I was about actually learning about the development and the structure of how to actually hit a ball. Now, from this, I found that I've graduated from this 5-year-old in this red shirt to my next generation, to now being one of the members of one of my favorite teams, the Peaches. Now, I have always loved baseball, like I mentioned, but today I found that this TED Talk has helped me so much more into actually incorporating baseball into my everyday life and my teachings in the future. I can teach kids how to put passion and compassion into learning about different things around the world. So, in conclusion, I believe that no matter what sport you play, it can always impact you in some different way and can change your perspective on things. I'd like to thank you guys for watching my TED Talk, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Thank you.